So, today's video is about the title of Go and help yourself, help yourself. What it means is, it sounds like weird, but it's not actually like, you have to understand it to like really sink in. Because there's only one truth, is that you only can help yourself. And it's not like an lower nature way, like, oh, I'm gonna do it all myself. No, literally every advice you hear doesn't work. It doesn't. Everything is all in your head always. What works for you works for you. That's like the transference of thoughts in there. So with this in mind, you have to ask yourself, what works for me? Because you're not the same person that the guy is like talking to you. Let's, for example, no example. Just think about it as a concept. They did not live your life, and you have not lived their life. Their anchor points and emotions are different than yours. Your, for example, had like a bad father. Let's just say that. So you are going to be focused on becoming a good father, in a sense that you don't want to be like your father. But someone has no father, and they don't know what a father is. So if the guy who has a bad father gives advice to the guy who has no father, it doesn't actually work for the guy, because it is not his decision, in a sense that it's not his life. It sounds like cope, but it's really not. In a sense, I firmly believe that everything must have happened regardless, so there's no way to regret. And I firmly believe that you can only like individualize every advice. That's what I love about this. I talked to a friend, and this friend was like, yeah, I want to get a business done. I want to get big. I want to hit 12 pull-ups. And yeah, he had not hit these goals in half a year. I mean, like, if you think about it, yeah, half a year getting rich is crazy. Alright. But 12 pull-ups in half a year sounds like not good enough progress. But the problem in here is that it was not his goals, in a sense that he basing his goals on the reality he saw of someone else hitting these, and then he wanted it too. But his mind was not aligned to it. His mind didn't care about it. His unconscious. This one is the greatest teachings of Carl Jung, is that the unconscious is really the mover of your reality, in a sense that your experience of life is based on the unconscious. And the unconscious is basically the conscious, but suppressed and like deep within your true personality. So if you want to actually make progress and stop coping around, is you have to involve the unconscious, and it has to be like retard science mode. You have to actually like try to talk to it, because or else you will not make any progress at all. You will ask yourself, can't I do it? Why can't I do it? But these questions are irrelevant. If you know that you unconsciously don't want the outcome of the goal you actually strive towards consciously, you will never reach it. If you think in the unconscious, if you feel that you're unworthy of something, then you will never reach it, regardless of how you think you can. Progress isn't actually made through suffering, it's made from completion completion is the overcoming of suffering. So I want to dive deeper into the science of the unconscious. I read many books on it. I've studied it in a sense that I also looked at my individual progress and my involvement with the unconscious of myself, of my individual unconscious. And the only way I actually could make progress is through the unconscious. For example, I was struggling to make progress in the gym. The biggest progress I ever made was to drop 10 kilos 1 year ago. 10 kilos of pure fat and muscle. I didn't train, I just eat less. Yeah, and in 3 months I got it back. So yeah, unconsciously I was still a fat kid. So yeah, but as soon as I started to implement the teachings of the unconscious, so fix your deeper mind state, fix the negative outlook on life, I started to make progress. I mean, I'm not that big, but I surely make progress. I'm the most biggest I ever been, and I think it's gonna just continue. It's natural to me. And not only that, I also made the videos, but also unconsciously I didn't felt like a YouTuber in the sense that I never could think that I could help anyone, because always my advice was listened to and said, whoa, that's actually good advice, but never implemented in someone's life. Then I thought, maybe I'm just unable to teach. But it's not actually true. It's the nature of advice. It doesn't work for anyone. I firmly believe you can only help someone help themselves. In that sense, if they unconsciously don't want to help themselves, it's over. Any kind of advice will be frowned upon and ignored. So yeah, that's why I don't like collective teachings, like groups. I think Carl Jung made a very great example that the only thing that truly changes you is the microcosm of the collective. It's like the individual of the collective. We live in a world of complete individuality. We don't have tribes anymore. We don't have anything anymore. It doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing, but it means our approach to life must be different. And if you think that you can join a group and suddenly you will be the best version of yourself, you're gonna push yourself. The thing that makes you do this is the unconscious belief that you are in this group, that you are now better. So it's actually just an external form of individualization. I didn't know if I spelled right, it doesn't matter. So, if you're like me, in a sense that you hear all this advice, I heard every kind of advice, but nothing seemed to work, in a sense that you get some progress done, but not nearly enough you want, and not nearly as consistent you want, and you're not as fulfilled you think while making the progress. Then I think you must, in a sense, explore your unconscious beliefs. It is vital to your progress as a human being to explore your unconscious. I've read many books on it, and they all say similar things. They just personify it different. Like the a new age movement look at as what do I look at as manifestation. Some view it as the unconscious, some view it as God. It doesn't really matter what you call it. It matters how it functions. And how it functions is in your mind. It's everything in your mind. It literally is everything in your mind. Mental health is not something external, it is internal. You're not gonna make progress by meditating 10 minutes a day. You're not gonna make progress by going to the gym every day. Trust me, I went for a year nearly to the gym every fucking day, and it did nothing to my mental health. It did literally nothing. And you hear this body dysmorphia type shit. Everyone gets it wrong. I tell you. I'm not gonna like give you advice how to actually like transform your life. This is the only thing that is gonna transform life, because it doesn't exist. It's the shiny object syndrome. You have to look in yourself to actually consider what is progress to you and how you can achieve it. It's the only way. You cannot reach any goal with externalization. It's always internal. Everything around you was in someone's mind someday. It's like the feminine masculine principle, duality. Our physical world is always the feminine. Why? Because it's created. Let's just say there's a creator, because there is a creator. And the creator is the masculine part of creation. It's the active. It's the creator. It's by definition the masculine part. But the feminine word is the submissive, supporting one. This reality, it got created. It's in nature feminine because it got created. That means everything you see around you is the effect of the cause of the mind. Because the mind is always, in a sense, masculine, because it creates the surroundings. It's simple. Everything around you was in someone's mind, so the mind is masculine. It must be, the power of the mind is masculine. So you have to utilize it. In order to create, you have to see it in your mind. It's the most important lesson you ever hear. And it doesn't really sink in. It didn't really sink in with me for a long time, because I didn't understand the meaning of it. In a sense, I know what it meant, but I didn't like grasp it fully. So I thought, yeah, the mind is somewhat responsible for progress, but I still have to do the work done. No, it is 100% responsible for your progress in your life. 100% guarantee you're not going to reach anything if you think the opposite in your mind. If you think you can get a girl and you subconsciously believe that girls hate you, you're never going to get a girl. That's simple. So guys, I've been thinking what I do with this channel. I think I know what now. I wanna make people individualized. Like I wanna help them help themselves, in a sense. Because that's the only thing that helped me to get out of my depression, in a sense. I was not clinically depressed, but I was very bad, in the sense that, yeah, things got rough in my head. Pause. Yeah, so I hope it helps you, and we'll see how the channel goes. Remember, it's always in your mind. You will reach everything. Just think you reach it. So yeah, guys, I hope it helped you. I hope we can work further, and I firmly believe if you apply this advice, in the sense that you don't apply it, in the sense that you look in yourself instead of thinking, oh, meditating or journaling is gonna make me happy, or gratitude journaling. I write, I'm grateful for this pen. Wow, this pen is so cool. You're not actually grateful for anything in the external world. But yeah, now I'm drifting off. So we'll see how the channel will grow. I think truly it will be magnificent, and I hope I can help many people solving their own problems, because that's the only way anything could ever be done and solved. So yeah, guys, take care and always be elevated mindset. In an elevated mindset.